Navratilova, upset early in last year's French Open, needs to repeat here to fortify her confidence. The comebacking Kathy Rinaldi played her close for a set yesterday, but Martina prevailed. Still, some questions remain. Her serve is highly suspect. Not at all the weapon she used to bludgeon a weary Gabriela Sabatini in last year's final. That match was Navratilova's last win on clay.
Physically, I'm a little stronger than I was at this point last year. I think I was a little more confident at this point last year because I had already won a tournament on clay, which I had not done this year. But again, I feel that I'm playing comparable tennis to last year, and hopefully I can do it.
Gabriela Sabatini's dramatic 3-set win over Chris Evert at the Lipton International 2 weeks ago reaffirmed her #3 world ranking, and she now moves on to her best surface, gunning for #2. Awaiting them both, Steffi Graf, whose dominance knows no surface and who has not lost a match in months. Hanna Mandlikova found out the hard way yesterday. Playing Steffi Graf can bring you to your knees.
Watching now the second of 2 semi-final matches. It is Martina Navratilova and Gabriela Sabatini, and they are playing for the pleasure of playing Steffi Graf in the final.
You know, what's amazing, Cliff, is that we've been talking about Martina, how she's not confident, but in fact, she hasn't lost a set all week. As a matter of fact, she's barely been challenged. That 1 second set against Rinaldi was her toughest fight. Gabriela has twice gone 3 sets against Angeliki Kanalopoulou of Greece just yesterday, and then earlier in the draw when she played her friend Mercedes Paz, also of Argentina. She lost the middle set of that match.
Martina Navratilova, you said #2 player in the world, and yes, I think we've been a little hard on her too. We talk about her serve, one thing and another, but as you said, she's done some extraordinary things. Break points, she has broken 19 times in the tournament so far, and only lost 9 games, and that's a heck of a deal. 140 career titles, 17 Grand Slams. I mean, records that this lady has amassed are just extraordinary. One wonders Steffi Graf, I suppose, may be able to top them. And Gabriela Sabatini, she's playing against, would like to top them herself, but she's got some stiff competition. The #3 player in the world, so it is interesting to look at her and to wonder whether she will ever be #1 because she was born in about the same time as Steffi Graf.
Yeah, that is sort of a pity, isn't it? And yet, the thing Sabatini has done in the last couple of years, also very, very impressive. She's one of only 4 players who have beaten Steffi Graf in the last couple of years, and twice she did it last year. And that's the thing she did more than anything else, I think, although she also won the Italian last year, the Canadian, and the Virginia Sims Championship. In the chair, Joyce Siegel. This match, I think, is very interesting, especially right now. The court, which we wondered about, because obviously it's a clay court which very much favors not the server, Martina, but Sabatini. And as you can see, she owns Sabatini at this point. If you look at the numbers, 10-2, and she has beaten Gabriela the last couple of times. Not only that, but this court is very much drier than it was just a couple of hours ago. Certainly drier than when Steffi Graf started her semifinal win over Sanchez. And yet, you've got to wonder. I mean, this whole match is about Martina Navratilova holding her serve.
They played here in the final of this championship last year. Sabatini had beaten Steffi Graf in a very, very tough match in the semifinals, and she was destroyed by Martina in the final. First point, Sabatini to serve. Fred Stolley's the court side. Fred, court drier, as Mary said. What else?
Much drier, Cliff, and I think if Martina serves, this will be to her advantage. But I think along with the Navratilova serve, I think she's got to return that second serve. If Sabatini doesn't get first serves in, then she's going to be in trouble.
Martina looks very keen, very alert to me.
Interesting, Mary, when they both came on court here, Martina was all smiles with the crowd, and Gabriela very serious, and did not look up as Martina was the second one on court, walked by her.
Takes its toll playing against somebody like Martina, doesn't it? You grow up in all your younger years. She's the dominant player in the world along with Chris. And now you're playing against her and they're talking about you're overtaking her. A lot of pressure.
This is the Navratilova that you're used to seeing on a clay court. There, again, a short second serve, and she came right in, got over the top of it, and whacked a good cross-court forehand, got into the net spot. Sabatini's not the quickest one around the baseline.
Martina Navratilova has broken serve in the first game of this best-of-3 women's singles semi-final match. Now, this gentleman took a break from cooking and is enjoying watching. Navratilova and Sabatini, one game to love. Breaker serve, so Martina will serve first, and here's the question mark, I suppose. See how well she serves today. Don't lose out of this. She's been terrific on return of serve, actually better than she's been on serve. If you miss your first serve against her, she's winning 8 out of 10 points. That's an attention getter, that, isn't it? That's what happened in the first game. Gabriela missed a few first serves, and she paid the price.
A very, very eager Martina Navratilova today. And I think Sabatini's a little nervous.
Here twice, Fred.
Well, a lot of the things that we've discussed are happening in the opening games of this match. Return of serve. And the serve of Navratilova.
How does she do it from way out there? What a shot.
Hey, this is a nice swinging lefty serve from Navratilova. Sabatini didn't care. She's got so much power. Even pressed that far off court.
Break point. And another one. So the trade serve breaks in the first 2 games. Let's take a look. Winning edge. What do you think? Serve. We went for Sabatini.
That's an upset right there. Yeah. I think that's the shock. I think everyone would expect that Martina would have the net game edge and Sabatini would have the ground stroke edge. Strategy-wise, also went to Martina because she knows exactly what she's got to do out there.
Serve, basically, we discussed the serve because of the fact that Martina had not been serving particularly well. And a couple of matches ago, Sabatini served 8 aces and has been serving particularly well this week.
Really, it's horses for courses, isn't it? We're talking about form of at the present time. And Fred, I would say to his credit, said, I don't agree. I think Martina has a better serve. close call.
Navratilova rushed that backhand, trying to get into the net before the ball even got to her.
Craig Corden, Longhorn, coach on the left. Next to him was Renee Richards, who was Martina's coach for a long time.
Big serve there, right in the backhand corner. It was about 6 inches inside the court and about an inch inside the line. Well-placed serve.
And we are on serve here in the first set. 2-1, 2 breaks, 1 apiece. We'll be back. Match in the women's singles division. Sabatini playing Navratilova. They're playing to play against Steffi Graf in the final match. You'll see that later today, 4 o'clock Eastern time, live here on ESPN. So check back with us then, because that is going to be obviously a good one no matter who wins this. We're on serve here. Navratilova serving at 1-2.
Big return.
2 of them. 2 good first serves.
Yep.
What do you do?
Actually, she's hit 4 pretty good returns, 2 in the last game to break serve, and the first 2 here.
Boy, that was a nice serve, too, wasn't it? Didn't make a bit of difference to Sabatini. And Martina got jammed at the tee.
She's anticipating that serve there on that backhand because of the left-handed swing serve out there, and she just muscles that and snap of the wrist. Great shot.
She's gotten over her nerves.
Break point. That's wrong.
It's interesting because that lefty swing that Martina just used to no effect on this ad court was a serve that Renee Richards helped her with 2 years ago to win Wimbledon with. Martina hadn't been winning. It was Graf that had been dominating. There it is again. When Martina won Wimbledon, she said to Renee Richards afterwards, there's Renee, who, by the way, wants everyone to know she is not Martina's coach again. Craig, she thinks Craig Carden's doing a swell idea, but this lefty swing, the slice, way off over into the ad court that pulls her opponents wide. Martina said to Renee afterwards, after she won the win, "Thanks for making me a lefty again." That's a serve she needs. To the deuce court as well, she just used a lefty swing. I think she's got to use that almost exclusively and then open up the shots down the middle.
Just take note of this game also, because it was here that Sabatini has had her first chances, 2 break points. She's lost them. This may give Navratilova a little added confidence, and she needs it.
That's a long back to deuce relative to what you're saying. I entirely agree with you. She's throwing the ball up now in the spot that, or lefty-righty. It doesn't matter to me whether it's lefty or right. That's where you should throw the ball up, unless you're really trying to put in a lot of topspin like an Edberg, for example. And she's got it back, because when I watched her at the US Open this year, she was throwing the ball all over the show. Just trying to get it in play. This is much better. Watch where she tosses this. Now, see, it stays up there on the left side of her body, and that's very important. And if she didn't hit it, it would drop there on the left side of her body. It's not moving over to where she'd have to bend her back. It's the same thing exactly that McEnroe had problems with. He sort of got to where he was tossing the ball over his shoulder instead of out in front of him.
Absolutely. He stopped being a lefty, too.
Yeah.
And now, boy, is he being a pretty successful one at that. Played great in Davis Cup last week. Won Dallas, WCTs.
Beat Lendl.
Beat Lendl, the only guy who's beaten Lendl in '89.
2-all first set.
These two have the same, it's amazing that Martina and McEnroe have the same game and face the same foes who do the same things to them. And Martina playing Groff is just the same, it's the same exact match as McEnroe trying to beat Lendl.
Mm-hmm. Same formula, same ingredients. You're right.
Oh, what an overhead. There's the short ball off the serve, and she rips this forehand, but look how she has to backpedal to get this overhead over the left shoulder, and she is about 2 steps away from the baseline when she made contact with that.
First ace of the day, and look for the Sabatini aces to go towards the middle of the court. She really likes going for the big flat ones down the tee.
Sabatini holds on. I think this is going to turn into one heck of a match. Tell you the truth, they're both playing well. 3-2 in the first set on serve.
Much the serve meant in this match. Gabriela Sabatini, good shoulder turn, but look, doesn't take that ball up as early. Both arms don't go up together. Then she gets the weight through. Good extension and out after the ball. Martina, on the other hand, both arms go separate, and then the ball doesn't go up quite as high, gets a good shoulder turn, and reaches up. Both girls, I think, have pretty good first serves. Sabatini on the second serve, not quite as good as Navratilova.
2-3, first set.
Strange thing in this match, though, they do not have a net cord judge here, and they've had one for the other semi-final and for the quarterfinals. I can't understand why there isn't somebody that's sitting there for the net cords.
Oh, it's long. Martina's looking, but the mark clearly about 6 inches long. There's no question about it.
Martina at the change-up was worried about a band playing on the premises somewhere. She... That's a great shot again. Boy.
Yeah, that's stopped now, but I think that's at the hospitality tent just out back, so this guy's quieted down, but here's a chance for Sabatini.
She's already had a couple. This is a big, big game for Sabatini because she's had 2 break points before and lost them.
You kick a ball, a high bouncing serve to Sabatini. She's got so much upper body strength, such powerful wrists that she doesn't care. She can muscle them by you anyway. Not too many players can do that. Graf can. And Gabriela's the only other one. Just so challenging, Sabatini, on her return games. It was a big forehand winner. Plenty of time to make the pass and win the game.
Scary thing, isn't it, is that she's serving, and Martina's serving so doggone well, and still Sabatini makes those kind of returns. I mean, she really challenges you, as you say. I like that word. 4-2 and serving.
Another one right down the tee. Again, when she wants to hit the power serve, the big flat one, that's where she likes going, right down the middle.
15 love and 4-2 first set.
Let first serve.
Martina, in her own way, by coming to the net, will try to pressure Gabriela. She can't. She's not going to do it with a whole bunch of topspin. She's going to do it by taking that ball early, forcing the issue up front. Very important that Martina doesn't try to win this passively from the baseline.
She can't win it passively from the baseline. She's got to do that, but on those backhand approaches, she's floated most of those long. She's been in a hurry to try and get ahead of the ball all the time. The last 3 or 4 chances that she's had to do that.
That slice approach was a much more instinctive thing for her to do at a certain time in her career. Now, lately, she thinks about it a little too much. That happens. But you can also get into a groove when you get confidence to where that sort of instinctive reaction comes back.
McEnroe had to go through that at the French Open last year, the early rounds. And then his patterns came back to him, and he did start aggressively seeking the ball, going after it. Got to the corners there before losing the lender.
Just wide. Good move. But still game point for 5-2 first set. Last time they played on this court 1 year ago, almost to the day. Tomorrow it will be to the day. It was Navratilova over Sabatini easily in the final. Point for 5-2 first set.
like Steffi Graf in her interview after a match today, and she said, well, at least I've done a little bit better than I did last year. I'm in the final. She, of course, lost to Sabatini in that great match last year in the semis.
The only other tournament where she failed to reach the final in the last couple of years was the Virginia Sims Championships, where she lost to Pam Shriver. Shriver ended up losing to the server, Sabatini.
Big game here for Navratilova. Has to break back right now. Had the shot that she wanted again. It was a weak second serve. You can see how weak it was because it gave her time to run around the backhand. Normally she'll come in and approach off that backhand side. She had time to run around and crack that forehand.
She's got to keep doing it, though, doesn't she, Fred?
Definitely.
She's got to keep going for it. She can't get discouraged and take something off of her strategy.
First serve.
There's a let cord. No one was a let cord judge, but everyone could hear that let cord.
Exactly.
It rifled off that tape.
By the way, Fred took about 3 steps. He could be the let cord judge. Is that close in that area?
I just don't see him doing it today.
No, I really don't either. Give him something to do for, isn't it? This is the first set, 5-2 for Sabatini, who's the number 3 seed over Navratilova, number 2 seed here. Match that she played in the semifinal. She came out here to watch this semifinal match. Steffi Graf is in the final. Her father, Peter, on the right of your screen. She did an interview with the German television. Folks, you're carrying us back to Germany live, her match anyway. She's much more articulate, obviously, in German.
She does pretty well in English.
Yeah. But it brings me to the fact that it surprises me how lacking still Gabriela is in her English. She spends so much time on Key Biscayne, which is home for her, but you get her in an interview afterwards and she's just a lot less articulate. Not so Martina, of course.